Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us this Friday night. I'm Jay Kohn. Janelle is off this evening. Montana fire crews have made it safely to California, where they'll soon be pitching in to help fight the huge wildfires ravaging that state. In fact, within 24 hours of the initial call for help, 54 Montana wildland firefighters and 16 engines from the state have been sent to the California fire lines. Firefighters and equipment from 14 separate city, county, rural, and volunteer fire departments statewide have responded. Chief Rich Cowger with the Columbus Fire Department sent 3 firefighters from his department to assist. He tells us the Montana crews are in the check-in process now and should be assigned to a specific fire by tomorrow. Cowger says the Montana firefighters will be grouped into strike teams, each with 5 engines and their own supervisor.
Within that little group, they are staying together. They are working together, so they'll be working, with folks that they met while they're down there, but they're all Montana folks. And then that strike team leader will then coordinate all the efforts of that strike team in with the bigger picture of this incident that's going on down there.
Cowger tells us he expects the Montana crews will be in California at least for the next couple of weeks, and conditions permitting, they're expected to be back home December 21st. Licenses to take part in Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Special Chronic Disease Hunt in Carbon County go on sale this coming Monday. The hunt itself begins next Saturday. The special hunt was approved by the Fish and Wildlife Commission after 6 deer tested positive for CWD for the first time in Montana this fall. CWD is a progressive, fatal neurological disease that affects deer, elk, and moose. The goal of the special hunt is to collect a statistically valid sample of both the mule deer and whitetail populations in the area.
We know where the 6 deer that have tested positive were standing when they were harvested. We want to know how big an area they are in, and of them, what percentage of that herd has chronic wasting disease. We really would like to see no more than 5%, and if we can hold it to less than 5%, the sciences say that it won't get out of hand. It's when it starts getting up into that 15-20% range is when it really explodes and whole populations get sick, and in some instances have either blinked out or have become very thin in Colorado and Wyoming.
Now the hunt area covers some 1,200 square miles, beginning just south of Laurel and stretching all the way to the Montana-Wyoming state line. Successful hunters will be required to submit their animals for CWD sampling within 72 hours of harvest. A special check station will be set up in Joliet during the special hunt, and samples can also be brought to the Region 5 headquarters here in Billings during regular business hours. In Helena, officials at the State Department of Revenue say the Republican tax cut bills now before Congress could have a big impact on the state budget. In a memo this week, State Revenue Director Mike Kadas says the Senate tax cut bill would reduce state revenues by as much as $123 million a year. That's a huge increase from the agency's estimates just 2 weeks ago. The big change is largely due to how the Senate bill treats business income, allowing for large deductions that will narrow Montana's income tax base. But Brent Mead with the Montana Policy Institute disagrees. He believes the final bill will benefit Montana taxpayers and the state's economy. But Kadas is not as optimistic.
It's a huge giveaway to very, very large corporate taxpayers. The corporate tax system generates about 1/5 of what the personal income tax system does, yet under this plan, the corporate tax system is getting about half of the reductions. So proportionately, there's way more reductions going to very large corporate taxpayers.
A conference committee made up of House and Senate Republican leaders in Congress are now in the process of trying to iron out the differences between the 2 versions of the bill. Well, just 1 week left in the open enrollment period for Montanans who get their health insurance through the individual exchange that was created by the Affordable Care Act. Tonight, MTN's Jonathan Amberian brings us a closer look at who is signing up so far.
5 weeks into the open enrollment period, Montana insurers and regulators agree the number of people signing up for health coverage on the individual market is close to what was expected.
We've seen a lot of activity since day one, a lot of interest in our customer service lines and our agent offices, looking at the benefit designs for this year, looking at the costs for this year.
Enrollment started on November 1st and will continue through December 15th. The open enrollment period was cut roughly in half this year. But State Auditor Matt Rosendale, Montana's insurance commissioner, says it doesn't appear the shorter window will reduce the number of Montanans signing up.
The insurers, again, have told me that everything is going smooth. The numbers are coming in where they anticipated them to be.
As of December 2nd, the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services reported more than 18,000 Montanans have signed up for plans through healthcare.gov. But that number doesn't include others who extended their policies directly through the insurance companies. In addition, those who already have individual market plans will be automatically re-enrolled in their current plan or the most similar option if they don't make a change during open enrollment. Rosendale says it's important for anyone getting insurance on the individual market to look at all the choices they have.
It's critically important for folks to continue to shop. They can get information at MontanaHealthAnswers.com.
John Doran with Blue Cross Blue Shield advises them not to wait until the last minute.
We've seen in previous years where the last couple of days of open enrollment, the website can really get a crush of activity, which tends to slow things down.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Now, by the end of the open enrollment period, it is estimated between 50 to 60,000 Montanans will have signed up for their health coverage through the individual exchange. Those final numbers likely won't be available, though, until January. The U.S. Marine Corps' Toys for Tots campaign is getting ready to hand out presents to children. The distribution center now being set up where families can pick up those presents. Q2's David Jay is joining us now from Metro Park, live tonight where the final push to gather the toys is on. David.
Well, Jay, we're right here at the entrance to the parking lot at Metro Park where they are collecting toys. They started at 6 o'clock this morning. Lots of people involved, including Ernie Lee from Rimrock Auto Group. And Ernie, you say that you're out here motivated because you wanted to help the kids in the community out this.
Most definitely. We're really fortunate with the Rimrock Auto Arena that we have here, that we had an accumulation of time that we could donate to the U.S. Marine Corps. So we have the toy center that is being set up right by St. Vincent de Paul to get toys out to our local community, the kids that really don't have those choices available to them.
Okay, and we've also got Vicki Massey from the St. Vincent de Paul Society. You say the pretty good turnout, pretty good signups so far at this point.
Very good signups. We are completely full. We've taken well over 900 families.
And the distribution is going to be going on here starting on Tuesday.
Starting Tuesday morning through Saturday afternoon in the Expo building of the Metro Park.
Okay, and Sergeant Rufus McCarley, how are things going out here? It's this final push you get going here on Friday evening.
You know, I've actually been really surprised at the turnout that we've had today. You know, we've had to take a few boxes into the distribution center, but you know what? It's still, we still need more. We're always looking for more toys. We're definitely still looking for those teenage groups, and you know, it's been great. We've been out since about 6 o'clock this morning. We'll be out here till 8 o'clock tonight, and you know, I just encourage everybody just to come out and show your support to the children in this community.
Okay, great. Those are 3 people out here. We've heard that they've had like 300 volunteers out here. The Sergeant Rufus McCarley, Vicki Massey, and Ernie Lee all out here. They're going to be out here until 8 o'clock tonight. The final push for Toys for Tots out here at the Metro Park parking lot. That's the latest out here. Jay, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, David. By the way, Davis tells us the distribution of those toys gets underway next week. Up next on Q2, people are rallying to help Glacier Park's Sperry Chalet rise from the ashes. We'll bring you the story and what's next. Also tonight, later in sports, it is December Madness across the Magic City. Tonight, all 6 AA teams in action, including the senior boys who have high expectations.
And coming up in weather, the weather's been topsy-turvy around the country today. Here in the Billings area, we warmed up to 57 degrees, while down south, they're shoveling out record snow. We'll take you there in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Kohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.